It's 5:20. There's the sunrise behind us. Tent's packed away. I was going to go get moving and have some breakfast a bit further down, but it's actually not too cold up here, so I'm just going to have my breakfast, get that done. That's where I was camping. So, have my breakfast and I'll be away. Morning. Today is Friday the 27th, I think. No, Friday the 26th of July. Friday the 26th of July. Happy Friday. I'm just leaving Great Shunner Fell. It's day 7. So today potentially could hurt. It is a long one. I explained in my video yesterday why, but I'm heading for Middleton in Teesdale, and I have to admit I'm feeling a bit like a little kid today because I'm excited about getting there for a few reasons. First reason being it's past the halfway point, so I'm going to hopefully pass halfway today, and when I get to Middleton and Teesdale I'll be past halfway. Also, it's kind of it's my stomping ground really. I'm starting to head into home territory. I mean, last night the clouds cleared a little bit, and I'll show you. I took a little video and took a couple of photos. It was dusky and the clouds just cleared just for a little while. So I got some nice shots. I'll share them after this. But what I could see in the distance, and it was unmistakable, was well, it was one of them, Pontock Pike or Burnett Mast. Unmistakable. I even took a bearing with my compass to make sure, so I can see home. Although I am going to obviously have to walk past home because I'm going up to Kirkyetham. But yeah, and see home from here. And Middleton and Teesdale's home really. My mum lives there. My stepdad lives there. We live together. Well, they don't live in Middleton. They live in Barnet Castle, but it's Teesdale, same area. Very familiar with that area, and also Molly's going to meet us there, so I'm assuming, yeah, well, she'll be at work today, but she'll be finishing and driving through to Middleton and Teesdale. She's going to stay at the campsite with us. She's going to buy me tea. I should be buying her tea, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be nice to see her. So, really nice halfway point. Yeah. Yep, still soupy. Still soupy, I said. Sometimes it cuts it off when you're flipping around. So that's that. I don't know how much of this I'll do today. So this is quite a long introduction, I gather, I realise. But I'm going to have to be on the ball today and concentrate on walking because, well, I've got up early. It is only 6:10. You can always guarantee I'm going to concentrate on where I'm put my feet. Okay. See. These steps. Yeah, you always know you're going to wake up early if you camp on top of a mountain because the cold starts getting in. But that's good for me this morning because it got me up and I needed to be up. So I'm saying it could hurt, right? But because it's just after 6 o'clock and it's my earliest start, yeah, because it's 6 o'clock at my earliest start, I've obviously got a little bit more time, so maybe I'll be able to just take it steady and well, touch wood, get there at a reasonable time. It would be a shame if I get there, if Molly drives all the way to Middleton and Teesdale and I don't get there till 11 o'clock or something. So better crack on. Catch up with you at some point. Bye. I've got a little bit of vision now. That's Swaledale, I believe, down there. And I'm going to be heading down there, I think, to Thwaite. I'm not sure you can make out the green at the bottom of the valley on here. That's where I'm heading. Oh, hello. Here we're getting some of those views that we were hoping for. Swaledale, of course, famous for its Swaledale sheep. Is that Swaledale sheep or am I talking? I think they are. Black faces, white nose, curly horns. Horns get curlier as they get older. Have you ever seen the symbol for the national park? It's got a Swaledale sheep on the front. As you can see, it's now completely clear on top of Great Shunner Fell. Bet you can see for miles. Shall we see what we can see? Road over there and a little house. See it? Sun is shining, weather is sweet. There's Thwaite in the background there. Just first climb of the day, I'm just climbing out of Thwaite and girting along the edge of Swaledale towards Keld. Can't deny it's lovely here, and we've got the weather for it today. Whew, I think I might just be starting to find me stride. I think what I've learned is that takes a bit of a takes a climb. I think I've got to get a climb in before I start finding me stride a bit. So hopefully I'll have found it by the time I get to the top of this. Catch up with you later. We're getting there. So clearly farming is at the heart of everything here in this part of the world. In the valleys and on the tops with the sheep. You saw the Swaledale sheep earlier. They just roam free and get rounded up when they need to be rounded up. But we're going to talk about something else. Today is Friday, as was mentioned earlier. Fridays are glorious. Mondays are horrible. But 2 weeks on Monday, 2 weeks this coming Monday, is the glorious 12th. The glorious 12th. Now, some of you may have heard of the glorious 12th. Some of you may not have. About 5 years ago, I'd never heard of it, but when I moved to Stanhope, I lived in Stanhope for 5 years, which is a very rural community. And that's where I learned about it. And it is the start of the grouse shooting season. And well, we're not passing over any grouse moors at this moment, but we will be later. But I thought I might as well get this out of my system now, because we did see a grouse earlier, and you also saw that sign about ground nesting birds. So Let's start with a humorous anecdote. Alright, so when I lived in Stanhope, somebody told me this story, so I'm going to nick this story. I'm not going to say the person's name because I haven't asked the permission, but I'm going to nick the story anyway. And if they want, then tell me off. If they watch this, and tell me off in the comments. But let's call this person Dorothy. So Dorothy, when she was younger, did a little bit of work as a beater. What's a beater? Well, the people who shoot the grouse need the grouse to fly up out of the heather into the air so that they can shoot them, and that's the beaters' jobs. So basically, whoever's running the shoot pays a couple of dozen people to stand like a few hundred yards away from where the shooters are poised with the shotguns, and beat the heather and shout on cue, which obviously startles the birds and they fly up and I have heard that a couple of people have been known to have got caught with a little bit of shot doing the beating. But it's something that a lot of the young'uns like to do when they grow up in these areas, because you can make a bit of money doing it, and it's probably quite an exciting day out. So I think you get like 60 quid, or well, I might have gone up now, but it depends which estate or which shoot you're doing it for. I think sometimes you can get double that. Anyway, Dorothy and our friend went beating, and it was a horrible wet and windy day, and when they got to the end of the day and everybody was getting packed up to go home, Dorothy saw the Duke. There was the Duke of Northumberland, and he waved. He was next to his four-wheel drive, and he waved and he says, "Come on, girls, come on, get in the car." And Dorothy and her friend thought, oh, brilliant, because they were shivering, like trembling in the rain, and they started running towards the car. But before they got there, the Duke of Northumberland's dogs got in the back of the car, and he closed the boot and drove off. So here's the thing, I think I'd be shying away from the topic a bit if we didn't talk about grouse shooting a little bit. Alright, so a lot of people, some people I know, a lot of people don't agree with it, don't agree with grouse shooting, because either they think it's cruel or elitist. Now, when I moved to Stanhope, what I learned is that a lot of the people there, a lot of the people who are from that area, local people, I'm not saying all of them, but generally were, felt that it was a big part of their culture and a big part of their heritage. So definitely weren't against it. Because like, well, firstly, so I suppose it provides some jobs. Now, I'm not saying it keeps the local economy thriving, because if it did, then all these people wouldn't be commuting to Newcastle or commuting to Hartlepool or Middlesbrough or wherever, concert, to go to work. That's what people do. But it does, nevertheless, it does have an economy around it, and there are jobs. So there's one reason, and like I said, I think people feel proud of it because it is kind of part of the heritage. So if you were, I guess, does it, whether you think it's right or not, that's one thing. But is there a better way of managing the land? That's the question for me. So at the moment, well, if you were going to manage it differently, right, what would you do? And the age-old question, where would the money come from? So the basis for that argument, well, a lot of the money, the money for managing the grouse estates, and they are kept nice, the heather, the moors, or also that they can have as many birds as they can for shooting. But that money comes from people who come to shoot the grouse. They pay a lot of money to do it. Take that money away. All right, so where do you get the money to manage the land to do whatever? So there's a question. Answer that one. But you'd have to, what I'm saying is, if you were going to do something different, you would have to come up with something that would replace it, that people will get behind. You have to restructure the local economy around it, and have a different land management strategy. Now, what that is, I don't know. Am I advocating stopping grouse shooting in this video? No. I think personally there's more pressing things, more important things to deal with. When I'm doing this for the Morning Star, and I doubt there's many articles on grouse shooting in the Morning Star over the last 10-20 years, and even if there is, can't even say if they will be helpful on the subject. I'm just something to talk about. Grouse shooting. So not getting into it too deeply, but if it was going to happen, it would need investment, and it would either be private investment, which would only come if they were going to get something out of it, or it would come from taxes, wouldn't it? And that's another discussion. Basically, if it was ever going to change, for better or for worse, I think it would be part of a much bigger picture, and it ain't going to happen overnight. And you'd have to bring people along with you. Just remember, these are just interesting discussions unleashed by the Pennine Way, the power of the Pennine Way. I'm not going to judge anyone for their opinion. Keep it friendly. Grice sheeting. And before I come to any grief, by the way, there are obviously lots of other NGOs and bodies and other interest groups all involved in managing the land in places like this, and they all, I think, do the best to work together like grown-ups. But one of them was known, I think, as the area North Pennines, where we'll be heading into soon. North Pennines area of outstanding natural beauty. I think it's changed its name now, but I can't remember what it is. And they do no end of conservation work, and one of the things they do is peat restoration, so restoring peat bogs like up on the moors. Now, I didn't know until I was talking to one of the people who's involved in this, that apparently, and I'm probably telling you something you already know, but peat is so much more efficient at storing CO2, storing carbon, than trees. So that's one of the reasons that they do it. And grouse shooting, brilliant! Right, so my final word on the matter. I know I said earlier, what's the answer? But let's be honest, I don't think any of us have the answer that's going to sort of please everybody at the moment. So I know I've brought it up because it is relevant to where we are, but I'm not advocating a big discussion on grouse shooting. Kids in force. What's your opinion? So it's goodbye Keld, goodbye Thwaite, goodbye beautiful Swaledale, and about 4 miles in that direction, it's hello Tan Hill, brought to you by Budget Windows. Can anyone remember what Budget Windows was called before Budget Windows? Pennine Windows. I see a stone circle over there on the hill in the distance. You might just be able to make it out. No, not really. It's on that pointy bit sticking up. Someone, I don't know the name of it, someone will though. Just got some signal, so I've just been texting Molly. It just says that we'll either go to the pub for tea or we'll get a pizza. And to be honest, right now, both of those sound delightful. So we'll do one of the two, I don't know what yet, but I'm looking forward to that. Let's have a look where we are. Well, you can probably guess. Tarn Hill, highest pub in England, everyone knows that. Right, let's go and get... There's Tarn Hill. Sorry, I've got nothing else to say about Tarn Hill at this stage of the game other than what a pub. And thank you for your hospitality. And I've just had a lovely half an hour there just relaxing. On the theme of hospitality and comforts, pizza's winning. But obviously the coziness of the pub appeals. So it looks like if we can, we're going to combine the two and go for a pizza in the pub. Many will know it's famously windy up here. You know what? So, heading across this grouse moor now for Middleton in Teesdale. That's where I'm headed. It's a bit of a trek, but I have to say I'm completely undaunted by it. For two reasons mainly. Reason one, it's only 12 o'clock. Reason two, this feels like home. Because, as I was saying, it's where me mum and stepdad live. It's not far from, not really far from where I used to live, in Stanner. Very tussocky here, look. Tussocky grass, ankle break and stuff. I've obviously straight off the path. He knows where he's going. Yes, so it's very exciting to be here, really. So you go across this moor, you cross the A66. What we can still hear is the A66 is not far, and I'm in. Not far from here. I'll try and zoom in and show you in a sec. And then from the A66, hey mate, alright. I'm past Karen, talking to myself when I walk past people now. Yeah, oh, you can see this. There's the A66 over there. I'll try and zoom in for you. See cars, vans. There it is. Everybody's favourite road to holidays in the Lake District. So I'm going to cross that somewhere down at the end of this moor. And really from there, it's just over Cutherston Moor, past the reservoirs, and then I'll be in Middleton in Teesdale by tea time. Now I believe as well that somewhere between here and there is the halfway point. So it's exciting times. So over there, I'm pointing in a northwesterly, westerly-ish direction, is Crossfell, which is the highest point on the Pennine Way. And I'll be going up that tomorrow if I'm feeling adventurous, the day after if not. Thought I'd share my state of mind with you. So most of the time over the last 6 days, it's day 7, physical and mental state's been one of, trauma's not the right word, but I can't think of a better one, like where you're not in a relaxed state. So I've either been on it or I've been weary. Right now I just feel very calm, feel neither weary nor overhyped. Maybe it's because I know that I'm having a sort of mini break, if you like, at the campsite, and I know I'm going to see Molly. I'm really looking forward to seeing her. So that'll be nice. And I think I'm just winding down to that. Tonight will be lovely, and then I can wind up again tomorrow. So everything I just said there is true. But I'm also wondering if everybody else gets a bit like this at this point, sort of halfway in. If maybe your bottom trying to hope you have because of the wind. Like maybe at this point your body just accepts it, your body and your mind just accepts it, and you're just putting one foot in front of the other, and that's it. No bad way to be, really. I suppose the flip side of what I just said is drinking, binge drinking. So you have your first night, and you have a hangover, you have your second night, you have a hangover, third night, fourth night, fifth. If you keep drinking, you just get used to it, don't you? Your body just, don't you? Well, might be different views on that, but at least I'm doing something that's good for my body doing this, because I don't always. 6th night, 7th night, 8th night, 9th night, 10th. So it must be that time of day, because your head's just full of stupid thoughts. So the thought I just had was Carl, who I met yesterday, who told us about the horseflies. Can you imagine if I'd met him in Hawes and he told us about the horseflies, and I was so scared of horseflies that I just turned around and walked back to Weedale. That was my thought. But now I'm thinking, I think this is the area that he was talking about, and luckily I haven't seen a single one. Not one horsefly, not yet anyway. I did see one on day after I'd come up from Middleton. It was having a little nibble on my hand, but I got it before it could do any real damage. But I did feel it. But yeah, hopefully the wind. Hopefully it is this area where he got them, and the wind's keeping them away. But could be further up, couldn't it? Teesdale seems like a long way away now. Or maybe they're eating the horses. Who are horses? Have you ever tried drinking booze? Oh, it's marvellous. Don't listen to any of that nonsense about it being bad for your health. Get it down you. It'll not do you any harm. Never done me any harm. I've been drinking booze since I was a lad. When I was a lad, I used to have booze every day for me breakfast. If it wasn't for booze, I'd be dead by now. Well, I've only gone and wandered into County Durham, so we'll cut across Cotherstone Moor. That's where we are now, and it's not far to Middleton and Teesdale from here. Can you see that weird looking hill over there? That one there? Probably only looks tiny on this video, but looks like it belongs in Arizona or something. It's called Shacklesbury. I've been to the top of that once. I think the way it's formed, it's the limestone, I think it's the way limestone erodes and forms. There's another similar thing over there. I think that's it there. This is Cotherstone Moor. I love it here. I love this whole area. I'll show you a little bit more shortly. Shacklesbury. Where'd they get the name from? Sounds like it belongs in Australia. So we're going to do a little bit of valley hopping now. We're going to pass through two tributary valleys to Teesdale. So this is the first one we're looking at now. There's 3 reservoirs. 1, 2, the third one you can see down there. And they flow down into the River Tees at the bottom. I mean, Teesdale is, if you zoom in, that's Teesdale over there, and we'll see plenty of that tomorrow. So yeah, this is the first of those tributary valleys. We're going to go down to where these farms and houses are, and then up the other side, you see, and then down in the next one, and then out the other side of that. I don't know why they didn't just go past Scotch Corner, to be honest. Well, I hadn't stopped since Tan Hill, and I wasn't going to stop until I got to Middleton and Teesdale, but how could I say no to that? It's well known, the Pennine Way walkers. It's a barn with a tuck shop in it, and you make yourself a cup of tea and get some chocolate or an ice cream, whatever you want, and put a donation in the box. And I was going to march straight past it because I'm on a mission. I just want to get to Middleton and Teesdale, but the two people who run it were sat outside with big smiling faces. Well, how could I walk past them? So anyway, I'm glad I stopped. I had the best cup of tea I've ever had with sugar in. I don't know if we have sugar in. And a little choc ice. So that's it. What was interesting is that they've met people who I've met. This video is going to be too long if I say who, because I haven't mentioned these people yet, but I bumped into somebody at Top Withens, the bloke and his two kids, who would, I'll tell you, so he'd walked from Edinburgh. Him and his two kids had walked, and look, young as well, he was only about 12. They'd walked from Edinburgh, and they were walking like the full, they joined the Pennine Way, like it's Kirkyeth, and they were walking the full Pennine Way, and then they were going to walk to Liverpool. And I think they're from Ireland, they were going to get the ferry back over. Apparently last year they did the Appalachian Trail. The dad and his two kids, obviously they had loads of advice for me, and I felt very subordinate, shall we say. But I was talking to these two people, I didn't get the names, but these two lovely people, they met them the other day. I tried to ask if they'd seen Carl, but they couldn't remember. I don't think they did. And they also reminded me of the name of this valley. Why, it's Baldersdale, of course, because where that dam is, that's a dam there. That's the reservoir I just took a picture of, Balderhead, Baldersdale. So they said that they get all sorts coming through. They didn't say all sorts, I did, but they get people from all over the world doing the Pennine Way. Even Nepal. Can you believe people come from Nepal, where Mount Everest is, to do the Pennine Way? And you get people doing Land's End to John O'Groats and all sorts. So, respect to the barn. But if I'm late getting into Middleton and Teesdale, it's your fault. Also, because of talking to them, I now know that I've beaten the horseflies, because apparently everybody's been coming through and complaining about them, and it is on the very section that I've just done. But today it was windy. Yes. Retracing the old steps. Do better, Ron. So I'm sorry this has been another long one, I think, another long video. But there's been quite a few things to talk about, and well, it's been a long day, like a long distance, so you're going to pass more things, aren't you? And the longer I walk for, then the more I'm going to end up talking. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is there is one last thing that I'll need to mention, and it's just up here. So that probably wasn't the best of photographs, but that's someone lives there, so I didn't want to go creeping around in the garden. That was Lowberg Hat Farm, once home of the beloved Hannah Hawkswell, known by some as the Daughter of the Dales. There's books about her, one of them's called The Daughter of the Dales. And she was the last of a dying breed of small cattle farmers from the area, probably in the country. And there's a documentary about her. This is how I first came across her. Now, it was filmed in the 1970s and it was on national television. I think it was quite a big thing at the time. Now you can find it on YouTube. The documentary's called Too Long a Winter, and it's Hannah Hawkswell. If you're into that sort of thing, if you want to learn about this person and her life, go and look that up on YouTube. She was a very endearing character. Almost like didn't belong in the time that she was actually living in. You know, the way she speaks, she's got a sort of dialect and a way of speaking that sounds not contemporary even for the 70s. And the way that she was living by her own means, didn't have much money. I think pretty much the only money she made was selling her cattle, maybe 1 or 2 cows, beasts as she called them. And she used to walk them down to Middleton and Teesdale, sell them at the mart. You know, handling big cows on her own. Maybe once, maybe twice a year. Whatever money she got off that, I think that's all she had to live on. It wasn't much. She didn't have plumbing in the house, no central heating or anything like that. Electricity, forget that, forget it. Just used to have wood and newspapers for a fire. Used to get her water from the stream outside. She was very happy. So, yeah, go and watch that documentary if you're interested. And that's it, I think that's it in terms of things I feel I need to share about points of interest on today's leg. So I'm going to do my best to stop it here, because I'm aware these videos, they're going to be like 2 hours long each by the end of it if I keep this up. So I'm going to not film anymore till I get to Middleton and Teesdale. It's not too far from here. Basically, I'm going to go down into the next valley. In fact, I might be coming over the top now. We might get a glimpse. More reservoirs over the hill, then I'm there. You've seen enough reservoirs for one day, haven't you? Damn barn cost me time. Right, this last bit is just a slog now, because mainly because I know Molly's there. I got some signal when I was coming over the top. She left the house early. She's there, probably twiddling her thumbs, wondering where the hell I am. So I just want to get there now. That last 2-3 mile or so since I last spoke was a trudge. So I'm on top of Harterfell now, just outside Middleton and Teesdale. It's only about 2 kilometres to the campsite. And I'm going to end it here. Today's been an adventure. It's been a good leg. Yeah, I'm going to end it here. I was going to end it here anyway, because I knew that I would go down that hill and then maybe see Molly at the campsite. Like maybe before the campsite, so I wanted to be done before I bumped into her, because it's now 5 to 6. And once I made it, I want to be no more filming. I just want to make the most of the night that we've got. And as I suspected, she's coming to meet us at the top of the fell. So I'm going to stop. There she is. I think that's her. That's just someone else walking the dog. I think that's her. Right. So that's it. Tomorrow's another day. I think that's her.